Hey, happy Friday the 13th, everybody. We get 3 this year, and this is the second one. It's like Friday the 13th Part 2. But since I didn't really make a video for the first Friday the 13th, it's like Part 1. Yeah, Friday the 13th. This is a movie that really started the slasher genre in the 80s. Slasher movies existed since the 70s, but Friday the 13th really kind of pushed it forward to kind of like make it the mainstream thing to do. You know, after that, there were thousands of replicas of different slasher films. I did one, a movie review, Pieces. That was my first bad movie review that I did last week, so check that out if you haven't already. But since it's Friday the 13th now, well, I thought I would review not Friday the 13th, but the next best thing, Sleepaway Camp. Yes, Sleepaway Camp, whereas every other slasher film was definitely ripping off Friday the 13th and doing their own thing with it. Pretty much the exact same story, just kind of in a different location, or, you know, changing up something with the killer, or just something like that to make it a little bit different. Sleepaway Camp instead decided to do the exact same thing. We have an unknown killer in a campsite, killing off counselors and students one by one. And, you know, it makes no apologies for trying to be a ripoff of Friday the 13th. It makes no attempt to try to really do anything innovative and different. But yet, it's still an extremely entertaining movie, and any horror fan has to see it. The only thing different about this movie and Friday the 13th is the big twist ending. And you could tell that this is the kind of movie that M. Night Shyamalan must have been watching before he made The Sixth Sense. So, without any further ado, let's get into reviewing Sleepaway Camp. The movie begins with a dad and his 2 kids, a boy and a girl, just kind of hanging out on the lake. And look at this guy's swimsuit. I mean, this is something you could get away with in the 80s. I kind of wish I could go to the beach like this, though I'm not even 1/4 that hairy, so maybe that's the key to pulling it off. So they're just chilling there, just kind of hanging out, looking at the lake, and what the... I guess that, like, mild walk to the left was enough to flip their entire boat over, but it's okay, I'm sure they'll be fine. And there's a couple of kids driving a boat with another kid water skiing, and they're heading straight towards the family that they don't see at all. And, you know, unlike coming up with a reason for them not to see the boat, like, you know, maybe they're doing drugs or having sex or all these typical horror cliches, this one spins it on its head and they just don't notice because they're just too stupid. So the boat runs them over and everybody gives the most perfect reaction. There's this guy. There's the water ski kid. My God! Somebody help the people! Dad! There's the 2 kids that didn't notice the guys. Get out of the boat, please! And then there's the dead body. We cut to 8 years later, and the mother of these 2 children, who are now a little bit older, is sending them off to summer camp. Her way of speaking, the way she dresses, and kind of everything about her just reminds me of some kind of like weird, off-the-wall Tim Burton character. I don't know, is that just me?
Of course. I believe there's a whole bag. Well, I'm almost sure of it.
We notice that the daughter, Angela, doesn't like to speak. In fact, she's not saying a word at all, but, you know, if you had a parent like this, I think I might be scared shitless into speaking too. So a busload of kids arrives at the camp, and seriously, what is with the shorts of the 80s? And then there's this really creepy adult counselor guy there that says something like this.
Where I come from, we call them baldies. Makes your mouth water, don't it?
And what's the response of the people around him?
There ain't no such thing as being too young. You're just too old.
Oh, pedophilia. Next we meet Judy, who is supposed to be the popular, you know, kind of girl that everyone wants, you know, super gorgeous and everything. Okay. Oh man, that cold shoulder, bro. Now, since Angela's really awkward and doesn't talk, I wonder if she's going to get along really well with the rest of the girls.
What are you looking at?
Shorts. So one of the counselors takes her into the kitchen to meet the head chef, which just happens to be the creepy little pedophile dude that we saw before. And nobody thinks his interactions or manner of speaking is weird at all. Like, if he could make it any more obvious that he wants to bang children, then he would just be literally naked in the middle of a playpen. Luckily, Angela's brother comes to her rescue. What a cockblock. So the chef stands on a chair to look into this comically large boiling pot of water, and someone sneaks up behind him and starts to pull the chair out from under him. And he doesn't just hop down, or he doesn't turn around or anything. He just kind of goes with the flow, and then... Not technically a kill, but at least we get our first bit of violence in the movie. So the head counselor decides he's not going to let anybody else in the campsite know about the incident that happens. And then the other counselor inquires about the minorities. Next we need some filler of the boys just kind of hanging out being boys. This one guy playing baseball seems to be like the bully figure, but could you take anybody seriously as a bully wearing this? One of the kids decides to ask Angela the important question.
Yo, Angela, how come you're so fucked up?
And then her brother, armed with a really badass cowboy hat, comes to defend her honor yet again. One of the sweeter boys comes over to talk to Angela, and we get her first line of dialogue in the movie.
Good night.
Good night.
So one of the older boys takes a girl out into a canoe in the middle of the night on the lake and decides to deliberately flip the boat over because this will help him get laid. So he's underneath the canoe and then somebody else is there just randomly and then decides to push him under the water and drown him. Yeah, someone who apparently somehow has the strength and skill to not only get out in the middle of the water without anybody noticing, but to physically hold this kid down in its entirety until he drowns. So this killer must be someone really intense and exciting. I can't wait to figure out who it is. So the body is found the next morning, and the head counselor again tries to pass this off as an accident and wants everyone to know it was only an accident. Later, the nerdy boy is flirting with Angela again, and it looks like they're having a good conversation, but for some reason Judy, who has her name on her shirt, is getting really, really upset and annoyed about this. And like, this is what I don't understand. It's like, it's not like she doesn't already have like 50 orbiters already around her. She's upset that this one guy that she's probably not even attracted to is talking to Angela. So just the fact that Angela is getting a minuscule amount of attention pisses her off. Paul and Angela, they're, you know, getting together, being all cute, and then Judy comes up to be a bitch. This happens several times in several different scenes that happen right in a row. Pretty much kind of boring.
Hey, Angela. How come you never take showers when the rest of us do? Huh? You queer or something?
Well, how does that make sense? If she were queer, wouldn't she want to shower with them so that she could see naked girls? Speaking of queer, we're just a couple of guys hanging out, having fun. One of the older boys goes in to take a shit, and we're getting ready for our next kill. Oh man, a knife. Oh man, I hope this guy gets stabbed to death. You know, one of those brutal gore effects. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, she's coming through the window. And, okay. Well, it's a good thing we have bee sound effects, or else I probably wouldn't know what that was. I guess throwing a beehive in there is something. Oh my god! Paul takes Angela down to the beach and the two of them start making out and he starts trying to feel on her and everything, and then she has this weird vision memory of, I guess her dad was gay and that was his boyfriend, or I'm not really sure what she's looking at. Maybe it was just a dream. I don't know. Shit's going kind of crazy right now.
Angela? Angela?
In the middle of the woods, an unfortunate, heartbreaking incident happens. Angela finds Paul and Judy making out.
Angela! Angela!
Hey, where you going?
Yeah, I guess Paul wanted somebody who actually would have sex with him, so, you know, what a dick. The head counselor starts interrogating Angela's brother, because apparently from all the evidence he's collected, he thinks that he is the one committing the murders?
He gets into trouble, you run to a rescue and try to take care of everybody. How are you gonna do it this time? Another drowning or something worse?
What are you talking about?
Next, one of the girls who decides that the head counselor is attractive for some reason wants to go over and... I don't know what's going on, but basically she goes to take a shower to get ready for it, and finally we get like an actual kill, like blood and knife and guts, and it's only an hour into the movie. And yeah, we finally get some awesome slasher kill. Just took an hour. Just an hour. I like that the killer is considerate enough to turn off the shower when he's done murdering the girl. It's like, you know, we don't want to waste water. The head counselor comes into the shower room where Meg was murdered, and somehow Meg's body decides to fall at the exact moment he's getting to the shower. I don't know if she had a little bit of life left in her, but whatever. But now that the head counselor knows that he has no chance of getting laid tonight, he's super pissed, and he's going to take it out on the man who did this. I have to say, they built up Judy's character to be like the complete total bitch that she is, and because of that, her death is pretty amazing in this movie. It is fantastic. First of all, she gets punched in the face, and then a curling iron is, I mean, I'm not a girl, but I mean, you can, this is it. Just be careful, kids. Not everything is a sex toy. So the head counselor, armed with his no evidence whatsoever, catches up with Angela's brother and just starts beating the shit out of him.
Do anything, you crazy frog! Stop it! I didn't do nothing!
But see, he can't be the killer because at that same time, 3 more boys were murdered off screen. So just as the head counselor feels that he has finally brought justice to the real killer practices their archery skills. Peter, was that his name? I can't remember. The freaking nerdy kid. I don't know. He meets Angela at the lake at the middle of the night like she asked him to, and she immediately asks him to take his clothes off and go skinny dipping, and I think he has pretty much the most perfect reaction ever.
Take them off.
But this is completely out of character for Angela, so we know something really big must be coming up soon. Some kind of strange, crazy revelation. Let's watch. Also, can I just say, what is up with this cop's mustache? I mean, is that really his mustache, or did they put a fake mustache on him? And then why? Couldn't he have been a cop without a mustache? Is it integral to his character to have this mustache? Does this mustache say something about him? I just want to know what's going on. 2 of the camp counselors stumble upon the beach where Angela is. They see her doing something really creepy, sitting down, and I can't really explain what's happening here, so just watch this.
I mean, we already have a boy, so another one simply would not do. Oh, no, absolutely not. A little girl would be so much nicer, don't you think so, Angela? Angela. Such a lovely name. Why, I believe it means angel. Why, yes, I'm sure it does. I know you're going to like that name. Won't you, Peter?
Wait, so you're saying Angela is actually the little boy from the big...
How can it be? God, she's a boy.
And from there, the movie ends. Yeah, so Angela's a boy. Okay. Interesting twist. Does that explain why she's a psychopathic murderer? Nope. Does that explain why she's doing this weird snarling thing at the end? Nope. Does it really explain anything? I don't think so. But that's Sleepaway Camp. Yep, you spend an hour and a half trying to figure out who this killer was, watching all of this drama go down just to figure out the big reveal, the big twist at the end is simply, hey, this character you thought was a girl is actually a guy. Try finding interesting twists like that in movies today. A twist like that in Fight Club? Pff, doesn't even compare. The twist from Saw? Pff, come on! The twist at the end of The Sixth Sense? Please, it does nothing to compare to this movie. Sleepaway Camp, the greatest plot twist movie of all time. Oh, God. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this bad movie review. Sleepaway Camp truly is an awful film, but it does cross that threshold between being so bad that it's just amazingly entertaining, which is like what I want to bring to you with these bad movie reviews. So if you have suggestions for other movies, I'd like to keep it in the horror genre, but it doesn't necessarily have to stay there. Please post bad movie titles below and I will find them and I would love to review them for you. So that was Sleepaway Camp. I know I've given away the ending, but if you want to check it out, I would highly recommend it if you just are a masochist like myself. So, alright guys, thank you very much for watching. Please like this video, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.